I don't just sit around and think about sex. That is probably the main thing. I have other things in my life that I care about. Like I have a favorite color, you know what I'm saying? Hi everyone, my name is Douglas. You can call me Doug, Dougie, Dougie Roo, whatever makes you feel good. Thank you so much for visiting my channel over here in my community. I just like to make people feel good and spread a little joy and happiness. So this is a different video because I didn't even really have notes for it. This is honestly a response to a very common question I get and comment and DM I get on other platforms, because I do start every episode with I like to talk about the 3 S's, the soul, sex, and self-care. I've definitely talked about the soul. I've certainly talked about self-care. Some people don't think I have adequately covered the middle S for sex. I happen to disagree. I happen to disagree because I feel like sex is yes, we know what sex is, but it's many things. It's not just penetration, intercourse, you know what I'm saying? Sex is a spiritual way of being. Like, it's just an experience. You experience one another. If you're talking about intercourse, my dog is here. Oh, hi Pookie. Hello baby girl. Which is weird because she definitely hates anything having to do with sex. She's very judgmental. Anywho, I did want to talk about why I have seemingly not really talked about straightforward, just like sex, like the actual, and there are many reasons. For one thing, it's not all I think about. I don't just sit around and think about sex. That is probably the main thing. I have other things in my life that I care about. Like I have a favorite color, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something I am constantly just obsessing over. You know what I mean? I'm just at a place in my life where it's not a priority for me. Sex is amazing. It's wonderful. It's incredible. I just, there is more to life. There is more to life, and I've really come to internalize that over the years. And so when I go to plan videos, I'm thinking, what will help you? What will help you, the viewer, the most? Like, I've done several videos now at this point, you know what I'm saying? And every time I've gone to plan a video to write it out, I never think, I should talk about humping because that's going to help them improve their life. Not yet, honestly, because it's about trust. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't trust me yet. We got to get there. I don't trust you. I don't know you. That's my thing. Everything in life is an energy exchange. And so if you're going to take any advice from me or any type of insight, I want you to know that you can trust me, you can feel safe with me, you can know that I'm not just making things up. I'm usually going from my life experience or research, or you know what I'm saying? I don't want to just fly off by the seat of my own pants, especially when it comes to something as important as sex. And traditionally, over the last few videos that I've done, when I have thought of the topic of sex, I usually funnel that through love or relationships. So that's kind of in my brain how I've gotten away with it a little bit. I've just talked about relationships or whatever, and that's why it's sex is everywhere, and that's why people say that sex is in everything. It's the makeup of all of existence. So I'm always talking about sex in a way. So I just don't think about intercourse all the time. You know what I mean? Plus, you probably know how to do that, right? I don't have to teach you how to do it. Plus, I don't think I can show you that here on YouTube because, whatever. So I wanted to kind of talk about that and just say, it is important though. Human sexuality is one of my favorite topics at all, just bar none. You know what I mean? I've been able to learn and grow and explore in my own personal life in ways I never imagined, and I do want everyone to be able to have that freedom of expression. But I want this channel to appeal to everybody. Not everybody wants to hear about that stuff all the time. I would talk about it all the time, even though I don't think about it all the time. But for me, what I want to bring to you is useful, valuable information for your day-to-day life. And also, I'm not having sex every day. So, you know what I mean? So it's not something I've thought was very useful for you. I want to bring useful content to you. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's why I started doing these videos in this format, because I wanted it to have meaning. I wanted it to have a purpose. I didn't want to do things just because, or just to put something out there, just to fill a void or fill a gap. I truly want to add equity to your life. And that's what I think I've been doing. So really what I would do is I would open it up to you all in the comments or the DMs. If you want to hear more about sex, comment below and tell me what specifically, like, what are you wanting? Do you want to learn something? Are you trying to learn more just my perspective? Like, what is it about sexuality, human sexuality, that I'm not hitting, that I could be doing better, that I could bring to you? I'm opening the floor to you because I'd like to bring you the content you'd like to have. And maybe I could think about sex more, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because I don't actively, presently think about sex all the time doesn't mean I couldn't put more of an emphasis on it. Especially if you find equity in the content. That's what it's all about. I want to bring you the content you want to see. And so that's what this video has been about today. It's not like super, I guess, insightful or anything like that. Like, I'm not teaching you anything in this. If anything, I'd like to come to you and say, what are your suggestions? What do you want to hear about as far as that middle S? The middle S, the elusive sex, you know, it could be love. I could talk more relationship stuff. I can give more life advice with that kind of thing. I can give more personal stories. It just really depends. I'm open. I just don't ever want, like I said, I'm gonna beat it. I'll be repeating myself here. I just don't want to be bringing you content just for the sake of bringing it. I just want to improve your life. I want to add joy and happiness. And human sexuality is just, it's beautiful. Human sexuality is nothing to be ashamed of. It is nothing to hide from. It is nothing to cover up or keep secret. You know, it's all about your consent and your comfort and being able to share it with whomever you'd like to share it with, or express it however you'd like to express it, as long as you are not causing harm to yourself or others, or, you know, to others. Like, that's just what I want to bring to you. So if I'm going to talk more about sex, you know, I'd be happy to. I want to know what you want to hear about. If you just want to let me pick, like, I can totally pick too. I can come up with a schedule. I mean, let's figure it out. I'm still figuring how this channel is going to even work. You know, I'm still exploring my sexuality in tandem with my spirituality, because they do go hand in hand. Sex and spirituality are like, they're basically the same thing. If you have experienced sex, you have experienced spirituality. You have seen the face of the universe if you have had an orgasm. You know what I'm saying? I mean that. I mean that. And every time we share that energy with a person, we are bonding with them. You know what I mean? So, like, just as a quick, brief glimpse, like, of who I am when it comes to physical intercourse, I wouldn't say picky is the word. It's just that I know that it's one of the most important and intense energy exchanges in existence. So whomever I'm sharing that with has to really mean a lot to me. They have to be on the same page with me. We have to have similar vibrations. We have to have this, you know, similar life views, maybe similar goals or aspirations or humor. Like, there has to be a connection there is what I'm saying. I'm also very pansexual too. So, like, I don't just, looks and your status just aren't going to do it for me. They're just not going to do it for me. I think, so I don't like using, like, terms like I'm evolved, but, like, I just don't care about looks anymore. I used to care about a lot of physical, not important things. A lot of things that, when I look back, I'm like, wow, how did that impact? But what was their character like? What was their soul like? There's so many missed opportunities when I think about just even friendship from my past, because we wrap our brains around sex and intercourse, and we strip away the humanity of a person based on that thinking, based on that way of thinking. We strip away their personhood. Who are they? They're just a sexual being now, because that's how we have framed them. That's how we framed our own brains. And so I've been trying for years to move away from any of that kind of a mentality, okay? So when I view sex, it's of the utmost importance. It is the most spiritual thing you can do with someone. It is the most intimate. It is just, it's just tops. Oh man, I am a top. But look, it's just very important. And so when I'm relaying that kind of energy, that kind of data, that kind of information with you, it's also an energy exchange, and so I want you to know the importance of it from my perspective. I will absolutely talk more about sex and all that kind of stuff, as long as that's what you'd like to hear. I just want to make sure everyone's happy and comfortable. I think that's it for this rant. I didn't really have any notes. I just kind of wanted to talk with you and kind of bring it to you and say, what are your suggestions for topics involving more of the intimate stuff? I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget, I post new content every Sunday and Thursday. I please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Comment below, say I subscribed. I'd love to hear from you. And again, let me hear those suggestions on what you'd like to hear about. I'd be happy to oblige. We are so powerful. You are so beautiful. We attract love, light, peace, safety, and security. I will post more soon. Talk with you later.